Lion's custom leather shoes crushed a sprig of pineapple mint, and its rich fragrance exploded in the greenhouse, mingling with the humid 37-degree air, so thick that it made breathing heavy. Eva's camisole strap slipped down to her elbows, the chiffon fabric brushing Lion's exposed forearms. She giggled as she bit at his tie knot, her red lips grazing the silk. "Isn't your wife supposed to be at that brand launch today? Sophia's schedule is thicker than the Bible." Lion's thumb wiped the smudge of magenta lipstick from the corner of her mouth, then casually rubbed it on his suit lapel, leaving a stark mark. His Armani shirt was already soaked through with sweat, clinging to his back like a second skin, outlining the upright silhouette he'd worked so hard to maintain that a figure suddenly flashed past the glass wall. Eva's nails dug into Lion's shoulder instantly, her grip so tight it almost pierced the skin. "Oh my God, someone's there." Shutter clicks erupted like dense gunfire. A round-faced girl holding a phone backed away, screaming, her voice shattering the greenhouse's silence. "It's Mr. Lion from the Luxembourg Consortium. I saw him on the cover of Forbes." Lion's knee slammed into the Brazilian wood-potted plant beside him, sending terracotta shards scattering across the floor. As Eva bent to retrieve her fallen high heel, her skirt hitched higher, and the phone camera captured the indentation of her thong on her hip perfectly. "Let's go." Lion dragged her toward the side door, his crocodile leather wallet slipping from his suit inner pocket. A stack of hotel key cards spilled into the mint patch, each emblazoned with the logo of a luxury hotel from a different city. "My shoe." Eva hopped on one foot as she was dragged along, the sole of her lace stocking tearing instantly on the gravel, a sharp pain shooting through her instep. Lion's Mercedes sedan was parked under the palm trees. As he started the engine, half her body was still hanging out the door, the wind scattering her screams. The round-faced girl panted as she posted her 9th short video, hesitating with her finger on the screen. "What hashtag should I use? Hashtag high society scandal or hashtag workplace sexual harassment?" Her boyfriend adjusted the zoom lens, suddenly pointing at the ground, got the license plate clearly. "Wait, did that woman drop her bag?" A Chanel handbag lay on the cobblestone path, its zipper slightly ajar. Half a condom wrapper peeked out, a jarring contrast to the exquisite leather. Inside the speeding car, Eva rummaged for her phone, her manicure scraping harshly against the leather seats. "We have to call PR immediately, say it's a malicious deepfake." As Lion ran his third red light, the car's Bluetooth suddenly pinged with a connection notification. He'd forgotten the device was still paired to his wife's phone. Sophia's voice, calm and unwavering, came through the speakers like an ice pick piercing the chaos in the car. "Lawyer Mark, please add the 2019 purchase records for the St. Cloud Villa to the evidence list." Cold sweat streamed down Lion's temples, soaking his shirt even more. Eva was touching up her makeup with a powder compact, the metal case reflected his distorted face, and she suddenly scoffed, "You've been under surveillance this whole time, idiot." In the botanical garden security room, the chief guard replayed the greenhouse footage repeatedly, the entangled figures casting ugly shadows on the ferns. "Should we notify the media?" An intern rubbed his hands excitedly, his eyes glowing with schadenfreude. The older man turned off the screen and pulled an elegant cigar box from his drawer. It was a gift from Sophia the previous week, still carrying the scent of her favorite tuberose. "Stick to the original plan. Call the police once the video hits 1 million views." Lion's tie hung from the petiole of a bird of paradise, like a hanged snake swaying gently in the evening breeze. Eva's scream cut through the car. "My bag." She struggled to open the door, but the seatbelt tightened around her chest, squeezing tears from her eyes. "Shut up." Lion jerked the steering wheel sharply, catching a glimpse of the young couple with a selfie stick in the rearview mirror. His palms were soaked, the steering wheel so slippery he could barely hold on. His mind was flooded with Sophia's voice, so calm it terrified him. Eva scrolled frantically through her phone, her fingers tapping out a rapid staccato. "It's over. Hashtag Consortium Siocarsex is already trending." Her voice cracked with tears. "My cousin edits for Le Parisien, he says the video's getting 100,000 views a minute. Even my relatives back home are asking about it." Lion's temples throbbed, as if swarmed by countless ants. The car's display suddenly lit up, and the photo on Sophia's incoming call seared his eyes. It was their wedding photo from 10 years ago. He was wearing the same blue striped suit, and Sophia's ring finger bore the custom wedding band he had made in Venice. He trembled as he hit the decline button, accidentally activating the speakerphone. "Mr. Lyon?" Lawyer Mark's cold voice came through the speakers, devoid of any warmth. "Pursuant to Clause 7 of the prenuptial agreement, all your cryptocurrency accounts have been frozen." Eva's powder compact clattered to the floor mat, shattering into pieces. She grabbed Lyon's sleeve, her nails digging almost into his flesh. "You never said there was a prenuptial agreement. You told me Sophia's assets were all yours." The tires screeched. Lyon pulled the car crookedly into an alley and snatched Eva's phone, throwing it out the window. "Are you crazy?" Eva lunged for it, the seatbelt choking her. "That has all my client files, and the records of your transfers to me." Lyon panted as he unlocked his own phone, 23 unread messages popping up like bombs. In the board of directors group chat, old Claude had posted a video of their hasty escape with a scathing caption, "Everyone, this is how our CEO spends his lunch break." Eva suddenly clapped a hand over her mouth, her eyes widening. She turned her trembling phone screen toward Lyon. On social media, a screenshot of her hanging out the car window had already been made into a meme captioned, "CEO Express Train, with shares exceeding 10,000, call PR." Lyon's voice grated out through gritted teeth, "Tasting of iron, issue a statement immediately saying it's AI face swapping, malicious smearing by competitors." Eva's mascara had run into black rings, making her look like a disheveled panda. "Your wife just liked that tweet." She scrolled mechanically. Sophia's official account retweeted the video with just 3 candle emojis, so concise it's chilling. Footsteps approached at the alley mouth. 2 young people holding selfie sticks suddenly stopped, their eyes lighting up. "Hey! Isn't that the guy from the video? Mr. Lyon?" Lyon slammed his foot on the gas. Eva's head hit the headrest hard, making her cry out in pain. She felt around under the seat for her high heel, finding only one, its heel still dotted with tiny fragments of pineapple mint, picked up in the chaos. "I'm ruined." She stared at the pursuers growing smaller in the rearview mirror, her voice filled with despair. "If my mom sees this, she'll die of anger." The car's display lit up again, automatically switching to financial news. The anchor's clear voice rang out, "Luxembourg Consortium stock plummeted 7% today. Sources say the board of directors is holding an emergency meeting to discuss CEO Lyon's tenure." Eva suddenly laughed nervously, a sharp, eerie sound. "You promised to buy me that apartment in Saint-Germain, with floor-to-ceiling windows facing the Eiffel Tower." She tore off her laddered lace stocking and tossed it in the car. "Guess we'll have to use cash now. Since your crypto's frozen." Lyon's suit pocket suddenly vibrated. He pulled out a fountain pen. It was a gift from Sophia for his 10th work anniversary. Back then, she'd said, "I hope you never forget your original intentions." At that moment, a soft yet icy voice came from the pen's miniature speaker. "Darling, did you forget the other function of this pen?" Eva's face turned ashen. She fumbled frantically with her earrings and bracelet, finally yanking off her bra strap. A button-sized metal piece fell out, glowing faintly red. It was the exclusive accessory Lyon had given her, claiming it was a tracker to keep her safe. In reality, it was a listening device Sophia had arranged long ago. Siren wails grew closer in the distance. Lyon stared at the approaching police cars in the rearview mirror, suddenly noticing a note tucked under the windshield wiper. Sophia's familiar handwriting was on it, her stroke steady. "Snakes in the greenhouse should hibernate." His fingers tightened around the steering wheel almost to the point of breaking, the note trembling in his grip. "Your wife was surveillance us." "Since when?" Eva's sharp nails dug into his arm, leaving bloody streaks, her voice a mix of fear and anger. The car's display suddenly switched to a video call interface. 12 board members' faces appeared in a grid on the screen. Old Claude's bald head glistened under the overhead light, and he spoke first, his voice stern. "Pursuant to Article 14.3 of the company's Articles of Association, we have unanimously voted to suspend your position as CEO. You can't do this." Lyon's roar echoed through the car, shaking the windows, "I just increased the stock price by 23% last quarter, how dare you fire me?" Sophia's face suddenly appeared in the center of the screen, replacing old Claude. She wore nude lipstick, her diamond studs remaining perfectly in place, her expression as calm as if discussing the weather. "Darling, did you forget I hold 34% of the voting rights?" She turned to someone off camera and said something, then lawyer Mark's figure appeared. "Mark, show everyone the evidence package." Eva suddenly lunged at the screen, slapping it with both hands. "Madam, I was forced. It was Lion, he threatened to ruin my career if I didn't comply." Half her false eyelashes fell off, sticking to her cheek like black spider legs, leaving her looking utterly disheveled. Lawyer Mark's briefcase came into view. He pulled out a tablet slowly, his tone solemn. "On July 12, 2019, Mr. Lion purchased the St. Cloud Villa in his personal name, registering the property under Ms. Eva's name. Since March 2020, Ms. Eva's credit card statements have aligned with Mr. Lion's itinerary 72 times, including multiple luxury purchases and overseas trips." Lion's Adam's apple bobbed, his throat tightening. He stared at the wedding band on Sophia's ring finger, the one he'd slipped onto her hand in Venice 10 years ago. Now it glinted coldly, like a tiny dagger piercing his heart. "The most revealing part is this." Mark played an audio recording, and Lion's voice rang out clearly, brimming with pride. "I can handle the tax audit, don't worry. Transfer those 200 million euros to the Cayman account, no one will find out." The board members gasped in unison. Old Claude slammed his fist on the table, shouting angrily, "You used company funds for money laundering? Lion, you've disappointed us deeply." Eva suddenly rummaged through her handbag, dumping out cosmetics, lipstick, and tissues. "Where's my voice recorder? I have recordings too." Her voice cracked with tears. "I can prove he forced me, he made me leak the quarterly earnings report." Sophia smiled faintly, pulling out a diamond-encrusted phone from her drawer. The screen displayed a bank account freeze notice. "I just received word from the bank, 3 of Ms. Eva's secret cryptocurrency accounts have been frozen." She waved the screen at the camera. "Thanks to blockchain technology, every transfer is documented clearly, including the embezzled funds you helped Lion move." Lion rested his forehead on the steering wheel, letting out a muffled groan. He smelled the sour sweat on his Armani shirt, mixed with the cloying scent of Eva's cheap perfume, and felt nauseated. The car clock read 1847. Normally, he'd be on his way home, imagining Emily rushing into his arms, holding up a drawing and yelling, "Daddy." For Emily's sake, Sophia's nails tapped lightly on the table, making a crisp sound. "Sign the divorce papers and waive all claims to marital assets, and I won't report the tax violations." Eva suddenly grabbed Lion's tie, crumpling the silk in her fist. "You promised to protect me. You said you'd take responsibility for me." Her voice turned shrill. "Now I've lost my job, and the whole internet is calling me a homewrecker, a vixen. You have to compensate me." The siren stopped abruptly at the alley mouth. Red and blue lights streamed through the car windows, casting shifting patterns on Lion's face. He saw his reflection in the rearview mirror, tie askew, Eva's mascara smudged at the corners of his eyes, hair disheveled. Gone was the confident man he'd once been. Lawyer Mark's voice came from the tablet, authoritative and unyielding. "The police have received a report suspecting you of insider trading and money laundering." He adjusted his wire-rimmed glasses. "Of course, if you sign the agreement now, Ms. Sophia is willing to post your bail." Eva's breathing grew rapid, her chest heaving. She stared at the stream of abusive private messages popping up on her phone, then suddenly threw open the car door and rushed out, shouting toward the police cars, "I'm a victim. I want to turn myself in. I have evidence that Lion laundered money and committed insider trading." Lion didn't stop her. He stared at the photo of Emily on the bookshelf behind Sophia, his daughter holding the teddy bear he'd given her for her birthday last year, a crown made from a paperclip hastily attached to its ear. It had been the most special gift he could think of at the time. "Do you know what's most ridiculous?" Sophia picked up her teacup and took a sip of black tea. "The Chanel boutique where you bought Eva's bags, my cousin installed the surveillance cameras there." Her tone was flat, yet full of absolute control. Every time she tried on a new style, the sales staff would send me extra photos. I watched you two march toward destruction, like watching a play with a predetermined ending. A police car pulled in front of the Mercedes, and two officers stepped out, holding an arrest warrant. As Lion stared at his name on the warrant, he suddenly remembered what Sophia's father had said 20 years ago, when he proposed, "My daughter is like a Swiss watch, precise, calm. You'll never guess how many gears are turning inside her, and you'll never be able to deceive her." Eva's wails came from the back seat of the police car, shrill and piercing. "He forced me to leak the quarterly report. I have evidence. He made me use my accounts to launder his money." Before hanging up the video call, Sophia glanced at her husband one last time. "The gardener of the greenhouse is due for a change." As the screen went dark, Lion saw that the wedding band on her finger was gone, leaving only a faint tan line. The living room was dimly lit. Emily's finger paused on the third video as she scrolled through her tablet. On the screen, a man with a woman biting his tie wore the same blue striped suit her father had worn when he left that morning, his face carrying a frivolous smile she'd never seen before. "Mommy," she tugged at Sophia's silk robe, her voice confused, "why is Daddy letting that lady with so little clothes sit on his lap? And why is she biting his tie?" Sophia froze mid-motion as she applied hand cream, the almond scent hanging in the air. She looked down at her daughter's screen, which had frozen on a frame of Lion pinching Eva's bare thigh. The Chanel bag on Eva's shoulder was identical to the one her father had given her for her birthday. He'd said it was a one-of-a-kind custom gift. "Give Mommy the tablet." Her voice was steadier than she felt, but her nails had dug deep into her palm, sending a sharp pain. Emily didn't move. She used her little finger to zoom in on the corner of the video, pointing at the Chanel bag. "This bag is the same as the one Daddy gave you." Tears suddenly welled up in the child's innocent eyes, plummeting onto the tablet screen. "He said it was specially made for you, one of a kind in the whole world." As Sophia snatched the tablet away, she accidentally left a faint red mark on her daughter's wrist. She quickly closed the app, but the notification bar kept lighting up with new alerts. #Consortium CEO cheats, #Wife fights back, #Luxury heiress takes down homewrecker. "Baby, listen to Mommy." She knelt down to meet her daughter's tearful eyes, trying to soften her tone. "Some grown-ups play very bad games. Daddy just made a mistake, he played a game he shouldn't have. Like how Monica said her daddy plays games with his secretary." Emily suddenly screamed, her voice filled with grievance and anger. "The kids at school laugh at her daddy for being a pervert, and they laugh at Monica for not having a good daddy." A sharp pain twisted in Sophia's stomach. She remembered the parent-teacher conference last week, where Monica's mother had looked haggard and evasive. At the time, she'd silently thanked her lucky stars for her own happy marriage. Now, it seemed like nothing but self-deception. That woman's fate was repeating itself, right before her eyes. "Daddy is different." She repeated the words mechanically, her fingers unconsciously brushing the tan line on her ring finger. "He just had some trouble at work and made a mistake." Emily grabbed the teddy bear from the sofa, roughly tearing off the paperclip crown from its ear and throwing the bear to the floor. "Liar. Mommy is a liar. Daddy is a bad guy." The metal paperclip scratched Sophia's calf, drawing a thin line of blood. The butler cleared his throat gently at the door, breaking the tension in the living room. "Madam, Lawyer Mark has arrived." He pretended not to notice her trembling fingers or the blood on her leg. "He says there are urgent documents for you to sign. Tell him to wait." Sophia suddenly raised her voice, startling Emily into stepping back. She immediately realized her outburst and softened her tone, reaching out to hug her daughter. "Baby, shall we have ice cream? Your favorite strawberry flavor. Mommy will ask the kitchen to make it fresh." "I want Daddy." Emily threw the teddy bear at the TV, hitting the financial news that was playing automatically. The screen filled with footage of Lion fleeing in embarrassment, with subtitles scrolling. "Luxembourg Consortium stock plummets as investors panic sell." Sophia moved too quickly to turn off the TV, knocking over the peony vase on the coffee table. Water spread across the Persian rug, like an ugly map spreading outward. "You knew all along, didn't you?" Emily's voice suddenly sounded strange. no longer soft and sweet. Last week you cancelled Daddy's birthday party, saying he had to go on a business trip. Yesterday you threw his pillow in the laundry basket, saying it smelled bad. The butler handed over a towel silently. Sophia rubbed her hands as if scrubbing away blood, using so much force she almost rubbed her skin raw. How could she explain to her daughter the late nights spent poring over bank statements, the chance encounters, arranged with private detectives, the pieces of evidence slowly pieced together to reveal betrayal, footsteps, impatient ones, echoed from downstairs? Emily suddenly grabbed the tablet, her fingers tapping quickly to open a video call. I want to ask Daddy. I want him to tell me himself. The ringtone of the video call rang sharply in the quiet living room, repeating over and over, no. Sophia lunged for it, but slipped on the scattered peony petals and fell to the floor, a dull pain shooting through her knee. She watched helplessly as the call connected, and Lion's swollen, haggard face appeared on the screen, background by the gray-green walls of a police station, cold and oppressive. Why is Daddy in jail? Emily's accusation cut through the air like a knife, leaving Lion pale and tongue-tied on the screen. Sophia pushed herself up slowly using the coffee table, her silk robe stained with water and petals, disheveled. She caught a glimpse of Eva being escorted by police in the corner of the screen. The woman still wore the camisole from the video, now crumpled and dirty, stripped of all her former charm. Baby, Daddy is just cooperating with the police on some matters. Lion's Adam's apple bobbed, his voice dry. The police badge behind him glinted coldly in the light, stinging the eyes. Emily suddenly leaned closer to the camera, her little face covered in tears and anger. Do you love that lady more than Mommy? Is she prettier than Mommy? That's why you don't want us anymore. Sophia finally couldn't take it anymore. She snatched the tablet and slammed the power button. Before the screen went black, she saw Lion's red, tear-filled eyes, just as they had been 20 years ago, when he proposed to her. But this time, all she felt was disgust, not an ounce of sympathy. Listen to me. She grabbed her daughter's shoulders, forcing her to look at her. Some daddies make very stupid mistakes. These mistakes hurt Mommy and kids, but it's not your fault. So you're going to divorce him? Emily's question left Sophia frozen. Fear filled the child's eyes. That's what Mathilde's mommy did. After she divorced, she found a new daddy. Now Mathilde has two daddies, and the kids at school laugh at her. From downstairs came Lawyer Mark's voice, deliberately raised as he spoke on the phone. Yes, freeze all of Lion's remaining assets immediately, including his apartment in Portugal. Sophia suddenly realized, this war she'd carefully planned had claimed its biggest casualty, who stood trembling right in front of her. She picked up her daughter, smelling the faint scent of children's shampoo in her hair, fresh and pure. In that moment, the identities of luxury heiress and ordinary mother tore apart completely. The former had allowed her to plan calmly, step by step. The latter filled her with unbearable heartache. No matter what happens, she buried her face in her daughter's warm neck, her voice trembling slightly. Mommy will always be with you. I'll never leave you. A heavy thud suddenly came from the entrance, as if someone had fallen. Emily pulled away from her embrace and ran toward the stairs. Is that Daddy? Did Daddy come to see me? The child's footsteps were full of hope, just like they had been countless times before, when she'd rushed to greet her father after a late night at work. Sophia watched her daughter's retreating figure, her nails digging into her palm again. This time, she felt no pain, only a numb, cold emptiness. Lion's shoes slipped on the marble floor of the courtroom, and he stumbled, grabbing the railing of the defendant's stand to steady himself. Lawyer Mark pointed a laser pointer at the projection screen, where blockchain transaction records scrolled in dense green code, like coiled venomous snakes, exposing his crimes for all to see. On September 3, 2021, the defendant laundered €820,000 of illegal proceeds through a fake NFT artwork transaction. Mark's cufflinks glinted coldly in the light, his tone unassailable. These funds were then transferred to the bank account linked to Ms. Eva's Saint-Germain apartment, used to pay the final property installment. Muffled gasps came from the gallery. Lion turned to see Sophia sitting in the plaintiff's seat, holding a notebook and sketching something. The faint tan line on her ring finger still lingered, a reminder of their once marriage. It's a forgery. You're in cahoots to frame me. Lion slammed his fist on the table, sending the bailiff's coffee flying. Brown liquid spilled onto the floor, leaving an ugly stain. The suit he wore was bought at a cheap clothing store the previous day, the price tag still hanging from the sleeve, jarringly out of place in the solemn courtroom. The judge adjusted his reading glasses, his voice stern. Defendant, control your emotions, or you will be held in contempt of court. Mark pressed a button on the remote, and the screen switched to surveillance footage from the apartment. In the video, Eva wore Lion's white shirt, inspecting the crystal chandelier in the living room with a triumphant smile. The date displayed was October 17 of the previous year, the day Emily had been hospitalized for appendicitis. He'd told his daughter he was going on a business trip to Germany and couldn't be with her. "Daddy lied to me about going to Germany." Emily's childish voice suddenly rang out from the witness stand, clear and unwavering. The child held the faded teddy bear, the paperclip crown still attached to its ear, now slightly bent. Sophia's hand paused mid-sketch, the pencil tip snapping. She watched as her daughter placed the diamond hairpin her father had given her into an evidence bag. It had been bought with company PR funds, but he'd lied, saying it was a custom gift with his own bonus according to cryptocurrency flow tracking. Mark paused, turning to Eva, who trembled on the witness stand. "Can the witness explain the sudden deposit of €2 million into your account in June 2022? Eva's nails scratched harshly against the witness stand railing. She glanced at Lion as if he were a stranger, her voice urgent as she distanced herself. "He transferred it to me. He said he was going to open a modeling agency for me, make me the boss. This money was startup capital." A sharp pain twisted in Lion's stomach, as if pierced by countless needles. He remembered that night at the St. Cloud Villa, Eva lying on his chest, whispering softly, "I want to be your exclusive boss lady." The gardenia perfume she'd worn had overpowered the tuberoses Sophia always kept, fresh and exciting at the time, now sickeningly sweet. "Objection." His public defender raised his hand weakly. "The witness's testimony contradicts her previous statements. It should not be admitted." The judge banged his gavel, the sound echoing. "Overruled." "Plaintiff's counsel, please continue." Mark walked toward the jury, his shoes tapping heavily on the floor, like the rhythm of a death row inmate walking to the gallows. He opened one final envelope, and Lion immediately recognized the scent of the perfume on the paper, Sophia's favorite tuberose. The stationery was her preferred cream color. "During the marriage," Mark unfolded the paper and read aloud, "without the plaintiff's consent, the defendant fraudulently obtained a mortgage using the plaintiff's inherited emerald necklace, securing a total loan of €5 million to purchase a yacht for his mistress." The gallery erupted in murmurs. Sophia finally looked up, her gaze passing over Lion to the empty family section behind him. It was where her father, who should have been attending their silver wedding anniversary, would have sat. Now, only cold, empty seats remained. Her father had passed away 6 months earlier, clutching her hand and telling her to take good care of herself and Emily. "I didn't." Lion's protest was drowned out by the commotion. He suddenly realized, the yacht's ownership papers were in Eva's name, but the transfer account was linked to Sophia's family trust. He'd embezzled the money while Sophia was dealing with her father's funeral. Two bailiffs carried a covered object into the courtroom and placed it on the evidence table. When the cloth was lifted, Lion saw the custom phone he'd thrown into the Seine to destroy evidence, now lying on the table like a corpse, its screen shattered but still recognizable as once luxurious. Forensic experts have recovered the phone's data. Mark played one final audio recording, and Lion's voice filled the courtroom, greedy and arrogant. "Sell all of Sophia's stocks. Tell them she approved the investment in the Metaverse project. Siphon the funds out, no one will notice." Emily buried her face in the teddy bear's fur, her shoulders shaking slightly. The child remembered clearly, on that day, her mother had stared at the plummeting stock chart, vomiting uncontrollably in the bathroom, barely eating for days. The judge's verdict fell like snowflakes, each word hitting Lion like a sledgehammer. He stared at the property list, where even his beloved cigar cutter, given to him by Sophia for his 30th birthday, with the words, "I hope you always maintain your gentlemanly demeanor," was listed as marital property. The Paris 7th arrondissement residence, the St. Cloud Villa, and all marital properties are awarded to the plaintiff. The judge's ruling sent reporters scrambling to take photos, flashbulbs popping relentlessly. The defendant must remove all personal belongings within 72 hours. No delays. Sophia's pen glided elegantly across the document, signing her name. Lion suddenly noticed, she'd signed her maiden name, the one he'd mocked as sounding like a supermarket brand, the one she'd changed after their wedding. Congratulations, Miss Sophia. Mark handed her a velvet box. Inside lay the wedding ring she'd thrown into the fireplace, now melted into a twisted metal lump, unrecognizable from its original form. Lion's public defender leaned in, whispering, "You have a box of personal clothing at the police evidence room. Shall I arrange to retrieve it for you?" A man wearing a baseball cap stood up suddenly in the back of the courtroom, holding a phone and taking photos of Lion. As he posted the candid shots to social media, the hashtags were already prepared. Hashtag Fallen Tycoon Wanders. Hashtag The Miserable Fate of a Cheating CEO. Sophia's hand paused as she organized the documents. She pulled a drawing from her notebook, depicting a family of three standing in front of a Disney castle. The father wore a blue striped suit, the mother a white dress, and the daughter held a teddy bear, smiling brightly. It was Emily's drawing from when she was 5. The father's tie was the same one Eva had bitten in the video. "Mommy." Emily tugged at her sleeve, her voice hesitant. "Are we never going home again? The home with Daddy?" Sophia folded the drawing twice and slipped it into the hidden pocket of her Hermes bag. The gesture reminded Lion of 20 years earlier, when she tucked his love letters into her school uniform pocket, cherishing their love so carefully. As the bailiffs approached to place an ankle monitor on Lion, he saw Sophia bend down and whisper something to their daughter. The child suddenly ran over, pressing the bent paperclip crown into his palm, her little hand cold. "Daddy." Emily's eyes were just like Sophia's in college, clear yet distant. "The teddy bear says it doesn't want a liar daddy anymore. And neither do I." Reporters jostled to capture the moment, flashbulbs blinding. Lion clutched the twisted paperclip, feeling his soul shatter. Louder and more painful than the courtroom's gavel, the sound of Sophia's high heels faded into the distance, without a single glance back. She didn't see, when her husband knelt to retrieve the wind-blown verdict, a tear fell on the line, permanent restraining order from the victim, spreading quickly like a silent confession. Outside the floor-to-ceiling windows of the Monaco apartment, the yachts in Monte Carlo harbor lined up neatly, glinting brightly in the sun. Sophia's fingers tapped gently on the glass, her rhythm steady. Emily sat on the carpet, sewing a new ear onto the teddy bear, needlework recommended by the therapist to help her process her trauma. "Mommy, why is our new brand logo a clenched fist?" Emily held up the brand brochure, pointing to the logo Sophia had redesigned. Simple yet powerful. Sophia knelt down, helping her daughter thread the needle, her tone gentle yet firm, "Because a woman's hands aren't just for wearing diamond rings or doing housework." She guided Emily's hand to take the first stitch. "They can also hold their own destiny and protect the people they love." The doorbell rang. Claire, the brand director, rushed in holding a thick stack of reports, excitement radiating from her. "Madam, the Freedom Collection handbag sold out within 3 hours of launch. The Milan store has already sent an urgent restock request, and New York and London are pressing too." Sophia glanced at the 300% sales growth figure on the report, a faint smile tugging at her lips. She picked up the diamond-encrusted phone from the coffee table, the screen still displaying news of Lion's latest bankruptcy. His last remaining property had been auctioned off to repay part of his debts. Have the old diehards at the Paris flagship store come around? Sophia adjusted the lopsided hairpin in her daughter's hair, her tone casual as if discussing something trivial. Claire spread out the designs excitedly, pointing to one page. "They've agreed to convert the men's section into a women's career wear line. But they're insisting on keeping the founder's portrait, your father's portrait." Emily suddenly looked up, the needle pausing in her hand. "Grandpa's portrait?" Her finger pricked the needle, a tiny bead of blood welling up. "Daddy used to say Grandpa looked down on him, that he wasn't good enough for you." Sophia quickly pulled the needle from her daughter's hand and pressed a cotton pad soaked in antiseptic to her fingertip. She watched as the blood seeped into the teddy bear's fur, remembering her father's last words, "That boy doesn't love you, he loves our last name, our wealth." You must keep your eyes open. Listen, baby, Sophia explained gently, Grandpa didn't look down on him. He was just protecting Mommy, afraid I'd get hurt. She gestured for Claire to put away the designs, just like Mommy is protecting you now, and doesn't want you to suffer any harm. Claire's phone suddenly vibrated. She glanced at the screen, her expression turning odd. Madam, Eva's live streaming on Instagram. She says she's going to expose more of Mr. Lyon's scandals, and she mentioned you. Sophia picked up the remote and turned off the financial news playing on the TV. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw Emily secretly searching for her father's name on the tablet, search history filled with, "How long will Daddy be in jail, when will Daddy come out, does Daddy still love me?" Tell the PR team. Sophia switched the tablet to kids mode, blocking all content related to Lyon, prepare a statement supporting women's courage to speak out against injustice. But make it clear, we have no further connection to the Luxembourg Consortium and will not participate in any media disputes. Emily tugged at her sleeve, confusion filling her little face. Why does Aunt Eva hate Daddy? Weren't they good friends before? Why is she exposing Daddy's scandals? Claire coughed awkwardly and stepped back to the corner of the living room. Sophia noticed a half-hidden drawing peeking out of her daughter's school bag. Pulling it out, she saw a drawing of Lion with devil horns locked in a cage, the word "bad guy" scrawled outside. Because some people, Sophia folded the drawing slowly and put it in the drawer, already filled with a dozen similar sketches. Emily's way of venting her emotions, only think about themselves when they hurt others. They never imagine they'll feel pain too. She stroked her daughter's hair. Aunt Eva was lied to by Daddy. Her career and reputation are ruined, so she's angry. She wants Daddy to feel the same pain. The doorbell rang again. The foundation director walked in holding a stack of photos, his tone respectful. Ms. Sophia, the list of the first batch of sponsored children has been finalized. Here are their profiles for your review. The photos showed 10 children from single-parent families, their eyes wide with timidity. One blonde girl looked somewhat like Emily, making Sophia pause. Mommy, was her daddy on TV too? Does she not have a daddy either? Sophia flipped through the documents quickly. When she saw the budget figure for psychological trauma intervention, her pen paused on the paper. The amount was exactly what Lyon had spent on the yacht for Eva. Now, that money would help more children like Emily. For the charity gala next Wednesday, she signed her name and looked up at the foundation director. Add a victim support segment, anonymous sharing. Let the children talk about their feelings, and let them know they're not alone. Emily suddenly threw the teddy bear on the floor, her voice filled with grievance and anger. I don't want to talk to strangers. I don't want to hear their feelings. Her little chest heaved. Mathilde says kids without daddies are losers, and everyone laughs at them. Sophia waved for everyone else to leave, leaving just her and her daughter in the living room. She picked up the teddy bear, noticing the bent paperclip crown had fallen out of its ear and rolled onto the carpet. Do you know why Mommy chose to move to Monaco? She pointed to the most luxurious yacht outside the window. That's the Siren. Your father bought it with our money. He partied on it with Aunt Eva, but told us he was on business trips. Emily rushed to the window, staring at the yacht curiously. On the deck, several staff members were cleaning it, preparing for the auction next month. One of them had red hair, just like Eva in the video. Now it belongs to our foundation. Sophia pressed the remote, and the blinds closed slowly, blocking the view outside. The money from auctioning the yacht next month will help 300 children like you. They'll get psychological counseling, go to summer camp, and grow up happy just like other kids. Her daughter suddenly threw her arms around her waist, burying her face in her shirt, tears soaking the fabric. But I just want the old daddy back. The one who made me paperclip crowns and took me to Disney. Sophia stroked her daughter's curly hair, her heart a jumble of emotions. On the vanity, the ink from her signature on the divorce papers had long since dried. She looked at the faint lines around her eyes in the mirror, suddenly remembering the night of her 20th birthday, when Lyon had told her by the saying that he'd make her the happiest woman in the world. Now, it seemed like nothing but an elaborate lie. The phone rang, shattering the silence in the living room. Lawyer Mark's voice came through the receiver, unusually urgent. "Sophia, I have bad news. Lion just mortgaged his last apartment in Portugal and bought a plane ticket to Monaco. He's scheduled to arrive tomorrow." Emily felt her mother's arms suddenly tighten around her, the grip almost painful. The child looked up, seeing Sophia staring at the yacht auction announcement on the table, printed with the date it would be officially published tomorrow. Lion's choice to come to Monaco at this time could mean only one thing. Lion stared at the flight confirmation text on his phone, his knuckles white with tension. The mortgage on the Portuguese apartment had barely covered the cost of an economy class ticket. He couldn't even afford to check a suitcase. In his entire life, he'd never flown economy, never been so humiliated. "Sir, your food delivery." He repeated the line mechanically for the 17th time that day, handing the plastic bag to the overweight woman who answered the door. She glanced down at him, then suddenly widened her eyes, her voice filled with surprise and mockery. "Oh my God, you're that former Luxembourg Consortium CEO. What are you doing delivering food?" Lion instinctively pulled his cap lower to hide his face, but the woman had already pulled out her phone, taking frantic photos of his greasy uniform. "Everyone look. The former tycoon is now delivering food. How ridiculous." The ketchup in the plastic bag suddenly burst, red sauce staining his crumpled shirt. The scene reminded him of last year at the St. Cloud Villa, when Eva had accidentally knocked over a wine glass, panicking as she dabbed at a non-existent stain on his pants, whispering, "I'm sorry, darling. Get lost." Lion slammed the door shut, hearing the woman scream that she'd file a complaint. There were still 5 more deliveries in the electric bike basket, but he suddenly twisted the throttle and raced toward the seaside. He couldn't take it anymore, he just needed to escape. The salty sea breeze rushed into his collar, cold and damp. He trembled as he opened the live streaming app, the camera capturing his swollen, haggard face, with a dilapidated apartment building behind him, a stark contrast to his former status. As soon as the live stream started, hundreds of mocking comments flooded the chat. "Everyone." He tried to force the confident smile he'd worn in shareholder meetings, desperate to salvage a shred of dignity. "I want to formally apologize to Sophia and Emily. I know I was wrong. I shouldn't have betrayed my family, I shouldn't have." The comments suddenly exploded, scrolling by in a blur. Check the trending topics. "Your homewrecker Eva got splashed with alcohol at a nightclub. Serves her right. She deserves it. Karma's a bitch. You two are cut from the same cloth." Lion's hand slipped, and the phone fell into the sand. The waves surged forward instantly, sweeping it away. The last frame showed Eva being dragged out of the nightclub by security, her sequin dress torn, hair disheveled, her face covered in alcohol and embarrassment. That dress had been bought with his credit card. At the time, she'd bragged that it was the latest style, with only 3 in Paris. "Serves you right." He shouted at the sea, his voice hoarse. But he suddenly remembered the last time he'd seen Eva, she'd shouted the same words at him. That night, she'd stolen his last Patek Philippe watch, the back engraved with "To My Eternity," the engagement gift he'd given her. The tide rose over his shoe soles, sending a sharp chill up his legs. Lion felt in his pocket for the crumpled lottery ticket. He'd bought it on a whim yesterday with his last 20 euros, passing a convenience store while delivering food. He had nothing left. This lottery ticket was his only hope. Winning numbers 17, 23, 36. He scratched off the coding mechanically, his fingers trembling with nerves. Over the sound of the waves, he heard his own voice promising Eva on the Siren yacht, "Once I get my hands on Sophia's family trust fund, we'll go to the Maldives, buy a private island, and be together forever." He crumpled the lottery ticket in his fist. In the distance, a lighthouse flickered on, its dim light illuminating a copy of the Monaco Daily washed up on the shore. The front page photo showed Sophia cutting the ribbon at her new store, wearing a tailored white suit, elegant and poised. Emily stood beside her holding a bouquet, wearing a matching mini suit, a Women's Power Foundation pin on her chest. The bracelet on her wrist was the birthday gift he'd given her last year. At the time, she'd smiled and said it was the most beautiful bracelet in the world. Lion's old phone suddenly vibrated, a cheap, hidden device the court hadn't confiscated. A text message with a photo arrived from an unknown number. Opening it, he saw Eva's bruised face filling the screen, her eyes swollen, her lips split, looking utterly miserable. "Lion, help me. They're forcing me to work as a prostitute to pay my debts. If I refuse, they'll break my legs. Please, help me." He stared at the familiar red sofa in the corner of the photo. It was the custom Italian leather sofa from the living room of the St. Cloud villa, which had cost him hundreds of thousands of euros. Now, it sat in a shabby nightclub VIP room, the leather still bearing the scratches from their reckless nights. The waves suddenly surged, sweeping the newspaper out to sea. Lion watched as Sophia's smile disappeared into the foam, his finger hovering over the emergency call button. Should he save Eva? The woman who destroyed his marriage and his career. A second message from Eva arrived, this time threatening. "I know where you hid your last money, under the floorboards of your Portuguese apartment. If you don't help me, I'll tell the police. You'll get nothing." The night wind ruffled his thinning hair. The winning numbers on the lottery ticket glinted faintly in the moonlight. 17, 23, 36. 17 was the date he proposed to Sophia, 23 their wedding date, 36 the age at which he betrayed her. How ironic, these once precious numbers were now his only lifeline. Another tequila. He slammed his fist on the bar of a seaside shack, his tone reckless. But the bartender ignored him, his eyes fixed on the TV mounted on the wall. A financial channel was broadcasting an awards ceremony, and Sophia stood on stage in a silver gown, accepting the Entrepreneur of the Year award. The diamonds in her ears sparkled like ice tears under the spotlights. "Dazzling yet cold, sir, you already owe for 4 drinks." The bartender wiped the bar with a rag, the stain shaped eerily like a map of Portugal. "If you don't pay up soon, I'll call security." Lion patted his pockets, pulling out just 2 coins and placing them on the bar. "Enough for a glass of water?" The king's face on the coins was worn almost unrecognizable, like the blurred memory of Emily as a baby. The back door of the bar suddenly creaked open, and Eva stumbled in, her high heels unsteady. Her sequined dress was stained with dirt and grime, shimmering strangely under the neon lights. Half her false eyelashes were missing, and there was a fresh scratch on her left cheek. She looked utterly wrecked. "What the hell, it's you?" Her fingers, with chipped nail polish, smudged with suspicious white powder, froze mid-air. "Lion Luxembourg. What happened to you?" The bartender whistled, his tone teasing. "Looks like a reunion of exes tonight. Never thought you'd run into each other here." He turned up the TV volume deliberately, and Sophia's acceptance speech rang out clearly. "To everyone who ever underestimated me, thank you for making me stronger. To everyone who supported me, thank you for giving me the courage to keep going." Lion's glass scraped harshly against the bar. He stared at the bruise on Eva's knee, the exact same spot she'd bumped during their first date on the Siren yacht. At the time, he'd fussed over her, applying ice to the injury. Now, it only filled him with disgust. "Heard you became a pharmaceutical rep?" He swirled the melting ice in his glass, his tone mocking. He'd heard from a source that after the scandal, no one would hire her, and she'd resorted to selling illegal drugs to survive. "How's business? Making enough to pay your debts?" Eva snatched his glass and downed the drink in one gulp, coughing as the harsh liquor burned her throat. The snake tattoo on her collarbone seemed to come alive as her Adam's apple bobbed. "Better than you, at least I don't have to deliver food and grovel to people." She noticed the dried ketchup stain on his uniform and scoffed. "What, didn't your ex-wife give you any hush money? Or does she just not care anymore?" The TV suddenly erupted in applause. The camera panned over the audience, and Emily sat upright in a custom suit matching Sophia's, a Women's Power Foundation pin on her chest, looking like a little adult. The smile that had once lit up her face was gone, replaced by a maturity and distance beyond her years. That little bitch really climbed the social ladder. Eva's false tooth clinked against the glass rim, a harsh sound. She suddenly reached for the lottery ticket in Lion's pocket. "Heard you bet your last penny on this. Let me see, how much did you win?" Lion's grip on the lottery ticket tightened, his knuckles bulging. A corner of the ticket peeked out, showing the number 7, like a hook mocking him. He smelled the sour stench of alcohol, cigarettes, and men's cologne on Eva, and suddenly remembered the gardenia perfume she'd loved at the St. Cloud Villa. At the time, he'd found it fresh and charming. Now, it made him want to vomit. Do you know why Sophia won? Eva suddenly leaned closer, her cheap lipstick smudged at the corners of her mouth, making her look even uglier. She knew about us the whole time. She had us followed for 2 years, she even has footage of you tying my bra strap around your wrist. She planned it all, waiting for us to dig our own graves, waiting for you to lose everything. That way, she could take it all legally. The bartender deliberately dropped a glass, the shards scattering at Lion's feet. In one fragment, he saw Sophia's profile as she signed copies of her book, titled Rise from the Ashes. The gilded title glinted like a knife, piercing his pupils. The book told the story of her awakening in marriage, her fight against betrayal, and her journey to rebuild her career. Shut up. Lion grabbed Eva's wrist, feeling a fresh cut that hadn't yet healed. If you hadn't posted that video, none of this would have happened. You ruined me. Eva suddenly laughed, a sharp, shrill sound that drew the attention of several drunk men in the corner. She tore open her neckline, revealing a barcode tattoo under her collarbone. Look closely. This was your birthday gift to me last year. You said it was an exclusive QR code to bind my identity, to make me your exclusive woman. Her voice turned, but it was a tracker. Sophia's people gave it to you. You were under her control the entire time, you idiot. The TV switched to a foundation promotional video. Emily held the teddy bear, speaking earnestly to the camera about the single-parent children's psychological support program. I hope all kids without daddies can feel warmth and love, and grow up happy. The brand new ribbon on the bear's ear stabbed at Lion's eyes. The paperclip crown he'd given her was long gone. That little brat must hate you. Eva licked her chapped lips, her tone malicious. Know why she always holds that stupid bear? Because I planted a tiny recorder in it. Every night she cries, saying she misses her daddy, that her daddy is a liar, that she'll never forgive him. Lion's fist slammed into the bar, knocking over a salt shaker. Fine white salt spilled onto the lottery ticket, like a funeral veil over the numbers. He remembered when Emily was 5, she'd spelled "daddy" with salt grains on the dining table. At the time, he'd picked her up, kissed her forehead, and told her she was the smartest girl in the world. The bartender turned the TV volume up to maximum. News broke that Sophia had officially announced her acquisition of the remaining shares of the Luxembourg consortium, becoming the sole controlling shareholder. She wore a new ring on her ring finger, glinting brightly in the close-up shot. It wasn't the one he'd given her, she'd bought it herself, bigger and more dazzling. Congratulations, ex-CEO. Eva kicked Lion's stool over with her high heel, her tone dripping with sarcasm. Your ex-wife's fiancé just bought your family's old mansion, the one you grew up in. Heard he's turning it into a museum, showcasing your family's glorious history. How ironic. She waved her phone screen, displaying a property transaction document signed 17 minutes earlier, exactly when he'd seen the lottery numbers. Lion felt for the lottery ticket in his pocket, the paper soft from sweat. He'd won 500,000 euros, just enough for a one-way ticket back to Paris, to repay some of his debts, and maybe, to see Emily. He looked up at the TV, where Sophia raised a glass to the camera. The lipstick stain on the rim was in the exact same spot as their first kiss 20 years earlier, only the tenderness was gone, replaced by cold indifference. Eva suddenly grabbed his collar, the blood under her fingernails smearing his shirt, leaving ugly marks. Give me half the prize money. Otherwise, I'll tell Sophia you're still trying to contact Emily, still trying to ruin her life. Her voice turned threatening. I can also tell you what Emily hid in her Christmas stocking. She put a photo of you in it, with "Liar Daddy" written on the back. The screech of a sports car came from outside. Through the dirty bar window, Lion saw the satellite dish on top of a news van. The microphone was labeled with a sticker, "Exclusive, the aftermath of the tycoon revenge, reunion of the fallen CEO and his mistress." The bartender stopped wiping glasses. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the lottery ticket Lion pulled out, its edges soaked in whiskey, starting to tear, like his shattered life, beyond repair. Lion stared at the winning numbers, then at the hysterical Eva in front of him. Suddenly, he laughed until tears streamed down his face. He tore the lottery ticket into pieces, threw them on the floor, and stamped on them violently. You want it? Take it. It's all yours. Eva froze, staring at his wild expression, unsure what to do. Lion pushed her aside and stumbled out of the bar. The sea breeze hit him head-on, salty and sharp, but it cleared his mind. He remembered what Sophia had once said, Lion, your greatest flaws are greed and arrogance. You'll never be satisfied, and you'll always think the world owes you something. Now, he finally understood. He'd lost his loving wife, his precious daughter, and everything he'd once held dear. It was all his own fault. Siren wails approached in the distance, growing louder. Lion knew, Eva had definitely called the police. She wanted to drag him down with her, to make him suffer the same fate. But he didn't run. He simply knelt down and picked up a fragment of the lottery ticket from the ground. It bore the number 17, the day his love for Sophia had begun, and the day his tragic fate had started. That he looked up toward Monaco. There, he'd once had a home, and the people he'd loved most in the world. But now, he could never go back. The snake in the greenhouse had finally met its end, forced into hibernation. And his life, this farce of betrayal and revenge, would soon draw to a close.